Hi, this is Kate. Welcome to In the Studio with Kate. It's week 27, I believe, and I'm just going to talk a little bit about a couple things I've done this past week. On Saturday night, I'm running my class, The Moon Art and You, and on Saturday night we had a live painting session on Zoom, and so this is what I started. I haven't worked on it since, so it has a long ways to go, but I am making a moon mandala. You can see that. There's the beginnings of it in the center, and then I have all the phases surrounding it, but I'm going to be doing a lot more decorative work on it. So it started with just making a pretty background and then going from that. I think it's funny that I used a lot of blue because it was a blue moon, so that's kind of cool. So the other thing I'm going to talk about is a journal page. It was one of those weeks where you never get to your art journal, and it was getting frustrating for me. So one day I just laid down a few colors, and then the next day we worked 15 minutes on it, that kind of a thing. So here's the page. So it has a woman and a lot of pattern making and so forth on the back. I thought this bird that came out was kind of funny, so I kind of tried to bring that bird out. And then this guy looks like a fish, and this just looks like a primitive figure. I don't know what's going on there. Here I used a stencil and painted on it, but the rest of it was all done with brush. One of the things that I'm thinking of exploring a little bit more is adding more space, leaving space. I left a lot of space with nothing in it, which normally I would fill up with patterns. This was also an experiment of trying some of the Dick Blick craft paint that I have, deciding if whether I wanted to keep it or not. Those of you out there like me who have a very small studio find that sooner or later you just have too much stuff, or you don't even have room to do your work in. So I decided to do a purge, and I'm trying to think if you can see it back there. See that paint rack right there to my left? B was full of paint, so I put her all in a bag. Well, not all of it, some of it. I kept some of the Martha Stewart's and some of the Dick Blick paints that I ended up liking the colors of. And I am going to give them away to some of the ladies in my art journaling group. So I'm bringing a big bag of paint and let them have a free-for-all and see who can grab what colors they like. Another lady has decided she would like the rack. So it'll free up a bunch of space in my studio for the things that I like using, because I was never using that paint. So I'm excited about letting it go to someone who actually will use it, and opening some space for some other things that I might like to be using. I put in an order just the other day for some Daniel Smith watercolors, so I'm really looking forward to them coming. They won't take up very much space, that's for sure, but I'm constantly, I don't know about you, but I'm constantly having to reorganize, rearrange. Wish I had one of those places that was huge, that I didn't have that space issue, but I'm just stuck with this little spare room that it's filled up pretty quickly. So if you find yourself in the same boat, my suggestion is to take a look at your own art supplies and take a look at what you use and what you haven't used in a really long time, and see if you still want to keep it, or maybe you want to send it on to somebody else. Sometimes it takes me a while to let go. Like I said, I kept some of the craft paint because I thought I might use it, or I thought it was really good paint. So it takes a while for me just to let go of everything like that. Another example for that for me is my pan pastels. It took me so long to get them, but I hardly ever use them. And so one of these days I'm just going to have to dig them out and use them or think about, giving them away. And I don't really want to do that yet because I really like using them when I do use them. Isn't that weird? It's kind of weird. I guess my primary medium is usually paint, and all the other things are added on or added at different times. So it's kind of interesting. Anyways, I digress quite a bit today. I don't have anything else to show because it's been a really crazy week with other commitments, as happens for some of us. So I hope you're getting some time in your studio, though. If you are, please leave a comment. Let me know. Share something that you've been doing so you can inspire me as well. But until next week, I hope we're all making art and being creative whenever you can.